Hello everyone, how are you? I am pineconesushi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than my usual bead crafting videos. It's only because I have gotten a few blisters on my hands, so I decided let's just gonna give it a break for the beading. I just got a blister from the pliers just because I don't do this too often, but I'm just gonna give it a break and I'm gonna work on something else. So you must be wondering why I have this cup here. This used to have tea in it, and recently, well, not recently, but I had discovered not too long ago that I can actually use these for orchids. So instead of buying them for like one or two, sometimes $3 for a proper orchid cup or pot. So the reason why I'm saying that is because Christmas had passed recently, and Chinese New Year has also passed recently, so did Valentine's Day, and sometimes people just like giving orchids to friends and family, people they admire, even for birthdays, and they always come in those awful little soft plastic pots. So usually what I do is when I do get brand new orchids, either as a gift or if I'm purchasing them, I usually do make my own orchid pots, and it just helps to encourage like good circulation within the roots. So I usually use cups like these for the first pot. Usually if there's a bigger orchid, I will use soup. You know those soup containers that you get from like takeouts? They are incredibly convenient and amazing. They're the perfect size. You can get them on Amazon, or you could actually get them from the dollar store, or I think TJX stores like TJ Maxx or Winners or Marshall. It depends. So I'm just going to be doing that today. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a cup, like a reusable cup like this. You don't need the lids, but I have also found out that these lids, these little plastic lids here, they are amazing for your mugs at home, like just to cover your mugs at home, just to keep the heat, just to help keep the heat in. Okay, so we don't need this. Okay, but I'm just gonna put that on just right now. So that's that. You'll also need a marker if you'd like, and what is in here is actually a portable solder. So it just makes things a little bit easier with making my little orchid pots. I used to do this with scissors because I would just poke a hole somewhere in here and then twist it, and that would be that. But it is a little bit harder to do with scissors. So the way I have been finding out to do it recently is to use a portable solder. So I'm just going to put this aside for now, and I'm going to just do a little setup. Okay, so that's everything there. And also I just want to show you guys just some of the orchids I'm getting. These are not the orchids that I will be repotting because I've already done those pots, but I just want to show you some of these orchids. There we go. So this orchid is very pretty, very healthy, but unfortunately it did come with those suffocating pots. So you can see here the roots are a little bit dry, and sorry, it's not focusing. There we go. The roots are a little bit dry, but they had also been damaged because all they had put in those pots that the orchids came in was just moss. There was just nothing in there, so the roots were just suffocating in general. So here's the orchid again. So my mother came home with these orchids after coming back from the grocery store, and they were just around $5 for these orchids, which is an incredible price, and they're beautiful. So that's one of them. Okay, I'm not going to do a repotting in this video, but I just want to show you guys like some of these roots here. I would give them a nice trim. You can see there was some root rot right here where my thumb is. There's some root rot there because there was just too much moisture for these orchids. So I will be trimming those off. I'm not sure if I'll be doing another video on that, but And I just wanted to show you that one. I do have a second orchid on the side here. I just gonna go try to pull it out. These are a little top heavy because they're in empty containers. So let's see if I can get this one in the shot. So I'm just gonna start with the roots here. These ones wasn't too bad. There are some parts I will be trimming off here and cleaning up the roots a little bit because, again, this was like stuffed in moss, and I usually hate it when it's stuffed in moss, especially when there's no breathing room except for the bottom. Okay, so that's that there for the roots. The leaves look pretty. The leaves look pretty healthy. And sometimes what stores do, or sometimes what stores do is that they just like wipe these down with neem oil, which isn't always ideal. Okay, but these ones don't feel like they've been covered in neem oil, and they look very shiny, very in very good health. You can see here there's a leaf that's dying off, which is fine. Okay, and you can see this nice fat root here. It looks delicious. It is very healthy. So this is actually a very healthy orchid. I'm going to show you the flowers now that are kind of drooping because I did let the roots dry out after they've been after I demossed it. But this is the pretty color that they came in. Okay, again, this one was like $5 as well. Okay, so those are the orchids that I have with me right now. Let me see, I'm gonna grab sorry, I'm just gonna put these in here. I'm gonna see if I can grab one of my sample pots for you guys. The clean one. Alright, so this is what I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make today. Very easy to do. Okay, and oops. Very easy to do. So basically you want to make holes on the bottom, you want it for easy drainage, and you also want to make some holes on the side so that your orchid pot or the roots of your orchid can breathe easily. Okay, orchids are essentially air plants. That's what they are. They like moisture, but they don't like it at the same time, and they have like very delicate roots. So that's what these ones are here. So let me just get everything set up and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so everything's kind of cleaned up here just a little bit. I'm just gonna move some of this around just a little bit on the side here. I am almost done. Okay, there's a lot of shadows in the background, but that's just because I have the orchids on the side over here. Okay, so this is just the sample that we're gonna do. So I'm just gonna put this away. And then you just want to get your working area started. So what I usually like to do is I like to get my old Amazon cardboard boxes that I haven't thrown out yet, and I cut it smaller, just like this. I don't know, that's filling up the whole page, the whole camera there. But there you go, this is just cardboard. Okay, I do like it a little bit bendy, but I will tell you why later. Okay, next is, I showed this to you guys earlier. So this is my portable electric solder. So portable soldering. Okay, there's some safety features, and it is rechargeable. There are different kinds of solders here, but I'm just going to show you guys the tip here. This is the tip that I will be using today. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to keep that on the side here just for now because we just need to prep our cup. So make sure you have your cup here. What I used to do before is I used to use, instead of using like these, I guess you could say this is like a bubble tea kind of cup. But before I started using these, I did start using small McDonald's iced coffee cups because they were just the perfect size, just like this, and they would fit in the ceramic pots that I had from our orchids. Anyways, let's start. You're going to take your marker here, and you are welcome to use a ruler as well if you want to. I kind of do like doing it by eye, but I like doing it by eye, but we'll just do this right now. So I'm going to take my marker here. I'm going to figure out where I want my first hole to be, which I usually start on the bottom here. Okay. And I do usually make it a little bit, I don't know if you guys can see that, everything's reflecting. I usually like making this later as a larger circle. I'll just make it a little bigger so that you guys can see. Like that. Okay. And then from here, I usually like giving it more drainage holes, and I believe I will just do it right here and right here. Okay, so I'm just going to do 2 here. You guys might be wondering like why I'm not making 4 like the other one, like the bigger one. It's just because this is a smaller cup. I guess I do have more faith in this, but we'll see. So from here, I don't know if you guys know, sometimes these cups have like a little groove, extra groove here, just so that you can savor the extra leftover of your drink. Okay, so I usually like making a hole on the sides here so that when I'm draining it, basically a majority of the water will drain from these corners here as well, just to make sure I don't have too much sitting water inside of these plastic cups. So I'm gonna just make a hole here, and I'm gonna make a hole here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. My marker has woken up. Okay, now here's the non-scientific way, and again, you guys can do this any way that you want. You don't have to do it the way that I'm doing. You can make as many holes as you want, but this is just what has worked out for me. So from here, following this line here, I'm just going to show you with my ruler. From there, it's just about, yeah, it's just about like a line. Okay, from here, I'm going to take my thumb here. I'm going to put it on the edge. Okay? And then I'm going to start making my holes here. It doesn't matter where these words are. These words are nothing because we are just reusing this to make us a healthy orchid pot. So I'm going to take my thumb here, and I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to make my next dot right here. Okay. And then I'm going to take one thumb here, take another thumb here. So 2 thumb lengths, and I'm going to make another one here. My marker has kind of fallen again. Then I'm going to do it. Should I do it one more time? No. So the reason why I'm not going to do this one more time is because if I put a hole up here, it's just going to make no sense. So I'm just going to put 2 here. So let's start with the next hole. So same thing. Gonna do 1 thumb here, and then gonna line it up and make a hole here. Okay, and 1, 2, have it lined up, and another one here. There we go. I'm gonna keep doing this. Okay, and the last one, it's gonna be right here. 1, 2, right here. Okay, so now you're going to have a cup. It has these lovely little black dots on it. Okay, this is not enough holes in here. I want more ventilation inside for my orchid plant. So I'm going to do something in between. So in between is roughly here and here, and roughly guys, roughly here and here. Okay, can I zoom in there, guys? Let me see. There we go. So I kind of zoomed in there for you guys. All right, so now instead of doing one thumb length, I'm going to do one here. So you can see it's kind of lining up here and here. I guess I'm using my nail polish to help me measure. So 1, 2, and I'm going to make a mark here. Okay, and then another one, 1, 2, and another mark here. Okay, and then I'm going to continue doing that for the next ones. Okay, and guys, it's okay if it's uneven. As I'm seeing my work here has become uneven, but all that matters is that your orchids get enough airspace in them. Okay, right there, and I believe I have one more. 1, 2. And then 1, 2, right here. Roughly, this one's a little crooked. This one's a little off. So I kind of put this one right here. Yep, and I'll put this one right here. So this one won't really matter, and it's permanent, so it's not coming off. Okay, and I'm happy with that. So now I have a polka dot cup. All right, so the next step, guys, is we're going to use our soldering device. Children, please do not use this. Please ask an adult to help you, because soldering is, or at least this device here, basically from here to the very end, it's going to be super hot. Okay, it's going to be so hot it's going to melt plastic. This tool here is used for melting soft metals, for jewelry, or sometimes computers is what when I first heard about soldering. It's not really used for these plastic things, but please be in a well-ventilated area, and please have an adult help you when using a device like this, okay? Again, if you don't have a soldering machine, what I used to do before was I used to get scissors like this. I would poke a hole, well, with the scissors open. Sometimes it would be a box cutter, and then I'd poke a hole and twist, and then I'll shave it down. It was incredibly messy, but again, if you are doing that, and please have an adult help you if you're doing that, okay? So I'm gonna put my scissors away. Gonna use my soldering machine. Oh. Okay, so right now it's on, and I'm just going to heat it up. So for this particular device, it does take a while for it to heat up to my satisfaction. What you do want it to do is you want it to heat up hot enough so that it melts the metal. Okay, so I'm just heating up my device. Again, please do not touch the top, anything on the top. Do not touch any of this while this is on. Okay, guys, it is incredibly hot, and you will hurt yourself. Okay, I can kind of start smelling it. Alright, so the reason why I've taken cardboard that folds over like this is to help me clean the tip of this soldering, because when you are using it for plastics, or even for metals, there will be some excess product on the top. So it is good to just have it cleaned every once in a while. Okay, so I think it's hot enough now. Okay, I'm just going to heat up one more time. And then I'm going to put that in there, and you can see how easily it went in. Okay, I'm going to just give it a good twirl, and there we go. That's our first hole, guys. I did make it a little big, but that's not a bad thing. Okay, and then we're just going to do the next one. Okay, there's the next one, and this is the next one as well. And that was very fast and easy. Okay, so now I have 3 holes on the bottom. Now I'm going to do the ones on the edge here. Okay, again, please be careful with the tip of this. It is so hot that it will melt plastic, especially this like thin plastic cup here. Okay, so for this one here, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to just rest the tip of this on the side here so that it can drain properly on the side of the corner when I'm watering my orchids. Okay, just going to rest it on the side here. Okay, there we go. And that's what I want to do. Okay. There we go. I'm going to do my next one here. Okay. So again, I'm doing it this way, guys, just so that when I'm pouring out, when this is full of liquid, basically the liquid will just easily come out on the sides here. Okay, because of that little sink here for liquids, I want to drain that. I don't want I don't want any water to like linger around in here. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to start with my making the holes on the rest of this. Just heating up my device. So you guys can make the holes as big or small as possible. I'm roughly making mine around 3 millimeters wide. Okay. Okay. So right now my solder is a little, tip is a little gunky because of all the plastic. So I'm just gonna go clean that off. You guys won't be able to see this on camera. Okay, there we go. And I also have my own orchid mix, guys, that I use. It's a little mix of commercial orchid mix. I don't have much right now. I may have to use some fillers. I do use some moss for mine. So some specs. I don't know how to say that word right now. It is some moss, and it is some orchid mix that you can just get from your local, sorry guys, from your local Walmart or Home Depot. I usually get I think the Pro Mix one is what I get. I unfortunately threw out the bag that it came in only because like there wasn't any more medium inside of it. Like it was so little, then I just needed extra space in the bag that I have for my gardening stuff. So I kind of just put it away in another container. So there we go. And these are the last holes I'm making for this. And you guys can see the difference between like a hot solder versus a cooler one. Okay, so I'm pretty much done. I'm going to clean this off right now. Okay. Okay, so now that my solder is relatively clean, I'm going to turn it off. There it is, it's off, and I'm going to put it on the side where it will not touch anything. I will not touch it just because I know it's hot. Okay, so now this is our new orchid pot. Okay, so now there are some like little strings that you can see. You can usually see these strings when you're doing using hot glue. It's your choice to take it off. Okay, I'm just going to remove all of that. But that's basically it. This is our new orchid pot that we're going to use, and your orchids are going to love this. Basically because like once the roots are in there and once I have the medium in, it's going to have all these holes for your medium to breathe out of, so the roots don't have to just to let the extra moisture to escape, and so that your roots don't have to be suffocated. So I've been making these for practically all of my orchids, and they are growing beautifully right now. I just don't have my favorite one up here right now. but yeah, like this is what I've been using. Okay guys, so thank you for joining me today. Thank you for crafting with me. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy this little crafting session with me, even though it's a little bit different, please like and subscribe, and you can add a comment as well if you want to. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Bye.